Hello everyone, and welcome to Paranormal Investigators of Northern Minnesota. My name is David. I am the founder and lead investigator for the Paranormal Investigators of Northern Minnesota. We have been together since January 2020. We as the team set out on our journeys to the paranormal world to collect evidence of the paranormal and bring it to the light for all of you wonderful viewers to watch at home. Let's introduce the rest of the team to all of you. We have our assistant lead investigator Jade, empath investigator Susie, investigator Patty, and photographer, videographer, and investigator Jake. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ghost Stories with Fans. I'm your host, David. I am the lead investigator for the Paranormal Investigators in Northern Minnesota. Tonight, we have a special guest with us. We have our first book author, Bud Steed. He is in the background. But tonight, our sponsor for this episode, thank you so much again to Enchanting Galaxy, Gemstones, Crystals, and more. So thank you so much to you guys for allowing us to be in your studio to be able to do this live tonight. So let's further ado, bring out Bud. Hello, Bud. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. You doing all right?
Good. So, what do you exactly do? I know you're an author for books and you write books, and I know it's about like a lot of haunted places that you've been to, that you write down I'm just guessing writing down experiences that you've had, or just give us a little bit of a background of who you are and what you do.
Okay. Yeah, I've been a paranormal investigator. This October will be 42 years. I did my first investigation in 1979 over in Friedberg, Germany, and I kind of grew up in a haunted area, so it kind of was a natural type of thing to progress into formal investigations. But I've investigated all over the states, in Europe. Investigated in Paris. All over Germany, and investigated a little small pub in London one time. Most of my books I've written 8 books. 7 of them are on paranormal. One of them is on haunted treasure tales of the Ozarks, but some of them have my experiences in them. A lot of them are experiences that other people told me, and then some of the stuff that I can get from doing investigations myself. So there's a lot of history involved in it. History is real big for me. I think that behind every haunting, behind every ghost story, there's some shred of truth there, some little iota of truth that made it start. And if you kind of dig back into the history behind it, sometimes you're lucky enough to find out, exactly what it was that kicked off that haunting.
That's exactly it. Just it. It's like what's not best about going to these locations and writing about them too. I mean, it's also about other people's experiences that have happened to them, and it's a good read. I mean, I haven't read any of your books as of yet. I'm waiting for that, so that would be awesome to be able to read. I'm not much of a reader, so I mean, if it's anything like James Patterson books, count me in.
Yeah,
Because it's a really short read on each chapter. It's not like it's a million pages long or something like that.
yeah, no, yeah. All mine are pretty short chapters, and I break it down pretty well with the history and then the ghost stories. It's kind of separated there, kind of merge them into one, but they're easy reads.
You want to share?
Out of the 7 books that are the haunted series, 5 of them were actually reviewed and accepted for inclusion into the Library of Congress based on their folkloric and historical content.
Ooh, so that's a good achievement there for you.
Yeah, it was kind of cool actually.
I mean, so let's just say for this one, Haunted Northwest Arkansas, is that, so what is this book pertaining to? Like, what is it exactly talking about? Or mainly this location that's on the front of it?
Well, no, that location is on the front of that book. That's Elkhorn Tavern. That's at the Battle of Pea Ridge. It was a Civil War battle. The book covers most of northwestern Arkansas. You've got Eureka Springs, where the Crescent Hotel is at, the Basin Park Hotel. You've got Fayetteville, the university there. There's a lot of a lot of hauntings and stuff that go on there. It just covers that whole area. It's got a pretty bloody history. You know, you've got a lot of Civil War battles. There was a lot of uh, killings and stuff like that during the Civil War from guerrillas. You know, then like in Eureka Springs, for instance, in the Crescent and the Basin Park. The Basin Park itself actually had a lot of slot machines and gambling and stuff like that. They actually called it Little Chicago back in the 20s and 40s because of the gangsters that came down. But a lot of killings, a lot of bloody history.
You know, I've been hearing about mainly about all the states down south. It's been like a lot of wars and a lot of battles took place in those different areas.
Mhm.
Oh, my lights just went out. That's cool. All right. Anything paranormal related at this studio? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
So, you know, okay, so I was offered a like kind of a book writing gig
Mhm.
for the Haunted series by Arcadia Publishing. They
Oh, yeah,
reached
the History Press.
Yep, they reached out to me and asked me how to to write a book. But here's the problem. I'm going to be straight honest. I have never wrote a book, and I'm going to be straight honest. I have read books, but the only books that I have ever read were either murder mystery stories or like James Patterson books. So I mean, what's the best way of going about writing a book for viewers out there? That if there's anybody out there looking to write a book, maybe this would be a good opportunity.
Well, there's a couple different ways you can go about doing it. Just kind of got to find out what works best for you. There's a lot of people out there that will make a list of the places that they want to include in the book, and then they'll break it down, by the history and everything, sort of outline it. And then there's people that are what they call pantsers, which is what I am. I really don't know how the book's going to end up until I've finished the last sentence. I want to be as surprised as everybody else. But there's those are the two basic ways you can do it. If you've never written before, it's probably easier to do an outline. Sit down and make a list of the haunted places that you want to include, and then take each one and break it down with the stories that you've heard associated with it, any evidence that you might have, any experiences that you've had, and just kind of start from there. Start with the history, give the background of the place. Do your research, your due diligence, and go to your local historical societies, places like that, and delve into it. Go to the county clerk's office, that kind of stuff, and do a background check on, who owned the property, that kind of stuff, and then just write it. Get the words down on paper. Don't worry about trying to make it look perfect the first time out. Just get the words down on paper. Then you can always go back later on and edit, and then re-edit, and then re-edit again, and then send it off to the editor, and they'll edit and re-edit again, and you'll end up with a finished product.
That it seems like everybody says it seems so easy to write a book, but it's not. There's a lot of effort that goes into writing a book.
It's a lot of work.
Time. Yes, exactly, and a lot of grammatical. I'm just gonna be honest right now. I'm not a very good speller, so I mean that. Hopefully, those editors will.
Hey, brother, they got a really cool thing on Microsoft Word called Spell Checker. It'll take care of that for you. You get that, and there's an add-on called Grammarly that will go in and help with your grammar, help with your spelling, look for repeat words, things like that. There's a host of programs out there that you can get for free that would help you write. I use them. I've got a bachelor's in creative writing, but I still use Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid and Scrivener, and I use all that stuff because nobody's perfect in what they do. You need something to go back through and check and double check your work before you send it off to your editor, because if you're doing this for a living, you want to make sure you're putting out as good a product as you can possibly put out. So you want it good before you send it off to the editor, because that shows your editor that you're professional. You're trying to do a good job. You're trying to be professional and treat it like a business.
Exactly, because everything to me has to be professional. To me, I mean, the kind of field that we're in, Speaking of, you said you were a paranormal investigator, and we were talking behind stage about that you were actually at a location investigating in Tennessee, correct?
Yeah, we're at the that's Eileen. That's Eileen Jones back there. Get out.
Yes.
Get out.
Thank you so much for the referral. I really appreciate it. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's yeah, we're at the old South Pittsburgh Hospital in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. It's a huge place. It's a pretty cool place. I just got here. I've yet to start investigating, but we're going to investigate it today and tomorrow.
Well, that place seems like a fun place. I mean, I haven't been. I've been to Tennessee, but not for ghost hunting. I mean, I've been to Graceland.
Yeah,
But
this is a there's a lot of history around this area. I mean, the next exit down from here, well, two exits down from here, you've got the Nickajack Dam that's got a lot of activity down there around it. And then the next exit past that, that's where Hales Bar Dam is at. I'm sure you've probably heard of that. But Hales Bar Dam is that place has got a lot of activity going on there. So this whole area right through here is a hotbed.
yeah, actually, I've never heard of that place. So that's
Really, man, you ought to Google Hales Bar Dam. It's been on. Man, I don't know if it's Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures or what. In all full disclosure, I don't watch any of those shows anymore. But it was on one of those shows. But it's got a hell of a lot of activity around that place.
I will definitely do my research on that place. It seems like just as almost as good as Waverly Hills.
Oh, it's every bit as good. I've been to Waverly Hills. Waverly Hills is pretty cool. I was back in that place back in mid late 80s, I think. I think it was the late 80s. I was there. I don't know if you know Keith Age or not. Keith Age has been around for as long as I have in the paranormal field. But he's a hell of a. He used to have Mid-South Paranormal Convention years back. It was the first and the oldest paranormal convention. He's got some amazing evidence from Waverly.
See, I can't wait till 2022. Paranormal investigators in northern Minnesota are going to Waverly Hills, everybody, so stay tuned for that. We're going to
that'd be pretty awesome
with us. Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to do collaborations with other teams, so definitely stay tuned for that. Sorry, I can't speak today. Thank you, Rob, for coming in from Dimensional Encounters Paranormal, for coming in tonight. Thank you. We appreciate your support and loyalty. So yeah, if anybody out there are looking to investigate Waverly Hills and want to travel with the team, give us a shout out, message us, and we'll talk to you about it. So stay tuned for details for that. So with that being said, is there any other things that you have done in the paranormal field that have made you wonder, or like made you sit on a thought for like maybe 4 or 5 days, wondering what just the hell had happened, or like kind of one of those experiences?
Yeah, I've had a couple of those experiences over the years. The Basin Park Hotel, they got what they call the Barefoot Ballroom upstairs. And we were investigating it during the Eureka Springs Paranormal event. And I was up there with John Healy and his wife. And we were just doing an EVP session. We were kind of sitting on the floor doing an EVP session. I got all choked up, couldn't breathe. And I got to my knees and just kind of staggered out into the atrium. As soon as I got through the door from the ballroom, it was like whatever pressure was on my throat was gone. Because it felt like something was just had me by the throat, was choking. And John Healy came in. I had a turtleneck on, and I pulled it down. And I asked John, I said, "Is there any marks on there?" And he goes, "Jesus Christ." He goes, "Hang on a minute." He went and got his camera and took photos, and you could see a big white mark that was on my throat. It was like a handprint that something got a hold and squeezed. And I had a sore throat for about 2 weeks or so. It was really hard to swallow. And then there was a big white mark that was on my throat. I had that for 2 years before it finally faded away. It was like it was burnt into my skin, like it changed the skin tone. And yeah, that made me scratch my head, wondering what the hell all that was about. But then the following year after that, we were in the same place, the Barefoot Ballroom. And we were up by the stage, and Dave Harkins was with me. He's a good friend of mine, and a hell of a paranormal investigator. He's been around for as long as I have. It felt like something just reached in and grabbed a hold of my insides and squeezed and dropped me to my knees. And I got up once again. Once I got out into the atrium, it stopped, and kind of got myself together. And I told Dave, I said, "We got to go back in there and see if we can do that again. See if we can get to do that again." So we went back in. I got over by the stage, and nothing happened. I went over by the steps, and just like boom, it's like something reached right inside me, got a hold of my guts, and just squeezed and dropped me to my knees again. I told Dave, I said, "You got to get me out of here, man." So we got out into the atrium, and once again it cleared up. Uh, I'd never have quite figured out what was up there in the Barefoot Ballroom. It just had it out for me because that was 2 years in a row at the ESP event that I had something like that happen to me. That just really made me scratch my head and wonder why. Because that they used to have the slot machines, like I told you before about the gambling and the mobs and stuff, and there was a lot of killings there, and it always made me wonder if maybe I might have reminded somebody that was there of someone who had wronged them in some way. They were kind of taking it out on me, but I don't know. But it's quite a place. You ever get a chance to go there, you should definitely go and investigate it.
I would definitely have to check that one out too. That's going to have to be added to the top of my list because, well, I don't know. Ever since I went to Edinburgh Manor in Scottsgrove, Iowa, like I've been getting into those kind of like more. There's like a darker history behind it,
Mm.
kind of history, and you're always wondering what is it. Ever since like I saw a creeper crawling on the wall with red eyes, I've been wondering what's really going on with the dark side of the paranormal, like evil side of it at least. Like, was that evil or what was that? And I have been just like scratching my head ever since, and I was 16 and now I'm 28. So,
Mm.
um, it's kind of one of those moments that you're like still struck in the head, like, what did I just see? And I have never seen another one ever since.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of stuff out there that people don't understand, and I'll be 60 in July, and like I said, I've been doing this since 1979. I've got more questions now about things than I did when I started. So it's yeah, everybody always wants to talk about the dark part. Everybody always wants to gravitate towards the demonic, but I can count on one hand the amount of times in the last almost 42 years that I've actually ran up on something that I would consider demonic. Most of the times it's just grouchy old spirits. I mean, it's like I tell everybody: if you were a good guy when you're alive, you're probably going to be a good guy when you're dead. But if you were a dick when you were alive, you're probably going to be a dick when you're dead. And that personality carries over. So a lot of the times, what people think are demonic is just a grouchy ass old spirit that just loves to mess with people.
I think I had plenty of those in my days. I mean, I haven't been investigating that long, or I mean, publicly wise, but privately I have. But I've seen a lot of, I would say, probably grouchy spirits that, don't even probably realize that they passed on, or,
Yeah,
I dealt with spirits like that already too, that don't even understand that they're even gone. Like we
yeah,
had a private investigation that a spirit didn't want to leave because they didn't believe that they were, gone. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that they say about when you pass on, you don't even get, like, if you have like a health problem now, like while you're alive, or even if you even have a disease too, that when you pass on, you don't have any of that stuff. So if you have oxygen now, you won't have that. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I mean, it's one of those questions you just want to know. That's
well,
why I'm very interested into the paranormal, because it's like, is there an afterlife? Where do we go?
mm,
Exactly. Like, what are we just going to be walking around zombies, kind of stuck on Earth?
my my theory on all this is that you know none of us are solid. We're just loosely held together bands of energy at a quantum molecular level, right? And what's basic physics tell you? Energy can't be created and it can't be destroyed. It can only change form. My theory is when we die, we're just changing from one form of energy to another form of energy. And our eyes don't pick up every wavelength, every light frequency that's out there. Maybe the spirits just exist on a different frequency than we do. That they're there, they're all around us. Most people just can't see them. So I mean, it's I don't know. It's like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there that we don't know about, and I've got more questions now than I did when I started. It's just what happens when we die. You know, and sadly, there's so much division in this field. People that get really good evidence and they post it, other teams come in and they tear that evidence apart. Whether it's through jealousy or what. I don't really know why, but I remember back when I started. In the '80s when I came back from Europe. Uh, we would go investigate, and we'd meet other teams. Like Waffle House or some local restaurant or something like that. We'd have 3 or 4 different teams that everybody would meet there, and they'd bring in. At the time we had regular 35 millimeter cameras. So we'd have our prints. 4x6 prints and that kind of stuff. Everybody'd be passing around photos of evidence and that kind of stuff. And it was a big collaboration. People got together and they shared the evidence and they didn't really tear other people's stuff down like they do now. I don't know if it's because everybody wants to be the next big thing, wants their own TV show or Facebook famous or what, but there's so much division in this field now that it's kind of disappointing.
It is, and I want to actually piggyback off of what you said. It seems like you are a Paraunity believer, that Paraunity should be back to the way it used to be, where we were all good friends. We weren't competing against each other. We weren't trying to be the next top dog. It's not all about the fame. Okay, we're actually in it to do it for what we love to do and be able to help, possibly even help spirits pass on and cross over to the light. I mean, if everybody believes in the light and stuff. So, I mean, we do.
The only way we're going to get any breakthroughs in this field, in my opinion, is when people start collaborating. And personally, we need to go back to doing experiments and stuff like that. We need to start doing testing experiments. Go to one place and investigate that place for 4 to 6 months and document your evidence and run different environmental tests and go old school. I mean, we used to use styrofoam cups. You take balloons and rub them on your carpet or something like that to get them charged on the curtain. You take styrofoam cups and rub them on your panel, they do the same thing. You can set them down. I've watched those things spin around in circles and all kinds of stuff as the energy, that static energy was sucked off of them, by whatever spirit was trying to manifest. And, there's all kinds of things you can do. And I think until we lose our dependency on all the latest little digital gadgets and, start going back old school and doing some real good documented investigative work, and everybody starts collaborating, that's when we're going to get our breakthroughs. But, nowadays, you could have the holy grail of evidence. You could have a spirit, you could have a video of a spirit walking up and saying, "Hey, dude, how are you?" And somebody would tear it to pieces.
Yep, they would say it's photoshopped, or you put a video photoshopped into your, image or whatever you have.
Yep, that's right.
I like your thinking to go back to the way it used to be, where, like you said with the styrofoam cups. I even thought, taking homemade jingle bells and put them on a fishing line and to make it like a tripwire kind of thing. If anything walks by it or any kind of breeze or anything, you know what I mean? It should trigger off those bells and make a noise. It's like a homemade EMF or a homemade, I can't even think, REM pod.
Yep.
Like all this equipment that we have nowadays, it's so expensive. And I think that's what most people don't understand is when it comes to the paranormal investigating, there's not really money to be made.
No, there's not.
You spend more than you do make. You know what I mean? You spend more than you make.
Yeah, I mean, in the 42 years I've been doing this, we've never ever charged anybody for an investigation, but I've spent a shit ton of money over the years, to go investigate places, travel costs, motels, food, develop back in the day, developing film, because, it's just. I don't know what that is. You there? This is really. I don't know if it's the location or what. There's all kinds of static.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Man, we just got mass static. I don't know if you can hear me or not. We got so much static, we can't hardly hear it.
Can you hear him now?
We'll stop now.
But is he stopped?
Yeah. You there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, now I got you. I
Okay.
don't know what the hell that was. We had so much static going on, man. It was just, you couldn't hear anything. It was just a mass static.
I don't know how much you believe into. I guess everybody else is saying that too. Static bad. Rich Fennell says static bad. Bobby says
Hey,
wow,
Rich.
bad static. Well, if you look behind me, I don't know how much you believe into crystals and stuff like that, but I have a bunch of quartz literally right behind me, and a bunch of other conductors, copper, other stuff that kind of. I think something's here. I can feel the energy around me right now. So I mean, there's definitely something down here. But just to get back to the question, I don't know if if Kelly was able to hear anything with the static, so we do apologize with that.
Still there?
Yep. I just want to make sure everything was good.
Thought I lost you there again.
No, so I might have missed it, but did you say what was your favorite place?
No, actually, I didn't. I saw that Callie had put the question up there. I think my favorite place to investigate is probably Beauvoir. It's down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, down in Biloxi, Mississippi, and it was the last home of Confederate President Jefferson Davis. And they've got a Confederate museum there and everything, and there's a lot of artifacts and that kind of stuff there. And the place never disappoints. I mean, there's plenty of history there. There's a Confederate cemetery, the Tomb of the Unknown Confederate Soldier. There's the little small library cottage where Jefferson Davis wrote his memoirs. And the place just never fails to produce. Paula Westbrook with Spars, they run ghost tours out of there once a month. And it's just a really cool place to investigate. It's one of my favorites. That and the Crescent Hotel is another favorite.
See, another good location to have to go check out.
Yeah, definitely get a chance to go check out Beauvoir. If you get a chance, go check out the what's the name of the funeral home in Kosciuszko? The old Southern Funeral Home in Kosciuszko.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually got REM pods from. I'm
From
losing.
Donald?
Who?
From Donald Martin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs to have Donald on his podcast.
Yeah. You should have Donald on your podcast too, man.
We were actually supposed to, but they had to do a cancellation, so we had to reschedule. But yeah, we're planning on talking to them, and we're actually also planning on going down there.
If you get a chance
and do an investigation.
You get a chance to go down there and investigate the funeral home. It's definitely a cool place, man. David Childers rolled a ball out of the hallway, and the thing went out, made a big loop, come rolling right back, almost right to him, and then stopped. And we could not get it to replicate it. We tried and tried and tried to get it to replicate it, and couldn't. Yeah, we did everything we could to try to debunk it, but it's a cool place, man. You get a chance, go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to try to see if you would be interested and want to come down, and then actually definitely David Childers. I've been trying to connect with him a lot. Like, I always wanted to meet him because I watched him on Travel Channel. Mm-hmm. I think it's America's Most Haunted Places or something like that.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch of different shows. David has.
Yeah, and I seen him before, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually talking to. I feel like I'm talking to a famous person. So
Don't tell him that, man. His head will get like huge.
I
Yeah, don't tell him
actually,
that.
it was I think it was when I was with talking, or it was with Stormy Daniels,
Mhm.
Spooky Babes,
Yeah,
and they were all together, I believe.
they're at the funeral home.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, that was a. Yeah, I kind of want to go down there and see that happen. I want to watch that ball literally just roll.
You ought to go down and check it out, man. It's well worth the trip down to check it out. And they got the county jail there too, man. If you can get in there and investigate that place, Donald them, they take care of the county jail there too. It's I haven't investigated that place yet, but I'm going to because that's one of my next book projects I'm going to be working on is haunted historic county jails, and
Ooh,
I'm going to go investigate those. Eileen Jones is going to go with me to help investigate these different ones. Then we're going to work with, hopefully, work with local teams from out of the area that have already investigated these jails, and we're going to get their take on it and their stories and include all that in the book too. So I think that's going to be a pretty decent book.
that would be awesome, and I would love. I mean, if you're ever looking for more people, let me know. I would
Yeah.
love to be part of that. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been trying to write a book about our investigations, but see, they want us to do one in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna be straight honest. We haven't investigated any place in Minnesota except for one restaurant that's running. Um, we're having a hard time getting into any locations in Minnesota, to be honest.
What about your historical locations up there?
I'm trying to get into the warden's house in Stillwater.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's one they're going to be. I'm trying to get into, but with the COVID, shut it down, so we have to wait till summer or something until they open up again. We're trying to get into that one. Nopenium or Nopium, or I can't ever pronounce it right, but in Duluth
Mm-hmm.
is another place that I've been trying to get into. I've been trying to figure out who owns the place. I've been trying to just be in contact with the person because I've been trying to want to do photos and do a new team photo. And it's a junior Waverly Hills
Yeah.
in Minnesota. And it's
There's
like,
a
why shut it down?
yeah.
Open it up
There,
for us.
exactly. There used to be a place right across over in Superior, Wisconsin. Uh, it was an old. It was a doctor's office, and then it was either a funeral home, then a doctor's office, or a doctor's office and then a funeral home. I can't remember which. But if you get to looking, if you go look over there around Superior, I'm sure you can probably track it down. But that place was pretty active too, and they had no problems letting people in years ago for that one.
Um, that would be another one actually. I was just reading comments again and never knew anything. I'm trying to figure out if the Stone Line Inn that you're talking about, Rich, is it in Minnesota? If it is, it's right down the street from me. And I never knew that place was haunted. I mean, I used to work for them. I used to cut their grass. So I mean, um,
But Rich is a pretty good investigator. He's pretty knowledgeable about stuff. So he can hook you up with some things.
is he from Minnesota?
No, Rich is over from Broken Bow. I don't know where he's originally from. I mean, last I heard, he was living over in Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Okay. Oh, yep, right here, Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Okay, so the Stone Line Inn is in Guthrie, Oklahoma, or is that where he's from?
No,
Because
that would be where the stone. I'm pretty sure Rich is in Broken Bow.
okay, I just
Or
wanted to
not
make
Broken
sure.
Bow, Broken Arrow. I mean,
Okay, I just want to make sure because
too much broken archery shit in Oklahoma.
we have the same place up here. So I mean, I wonder if they're sister places or something, or like cousins or something, or some kind of relation. Like you know how they have franchises and stuff. So I'm wondering if they have any kind of like association to each other.
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing you can do too is go to your local historical society and ask them if they have any records of where anything like murders had occurred in like in the 1800s or the early 1900s. Uh, any kind of tragedy, mining tragedies. I mean, up there at the boundary waters, maybe boating or something like that, tragedies, and then use that as a stepping stone to go and research some places and see what you can get into. Uh, it'd be worth a shot.
It's not always about these big locations.
No.
The places that I'm trying to really find are these places that nobody has ever touched.
The small, out of the way places for me are the best. I would much rather investigate places like that aren't commercialized, or not overly commercialized. Uh, I just get a lot more enjoyment out of it, I guess, because maybe I always have to dig a little bit to find the history behind it, and for me, that's always a real hoot anyway. For me, I'm a history nerd, history geek anyway, so I enjoy that part of it. But
The way I look at it is our title is investigator.
yeah,
And what does an investigator do? They dig and dig and dig and try to find all the details
yep,
that they need. So I mean, yes, that's the best. These are the best kind of places to do that with because they're off the map. Nobody really knows about them. They haven't been touched, and maybe those spirits that are there are lonely and they really want somebody to talk to, and they would probably love your attention.
yeah. And while you're at it, go to the historical society and see if there were any poorhouses, any poor farms out there that you may be able to go to too, because those are always a good hotbed of activity. I had some good luck in Ohio and places like that, with the poorhouses. But the place they'd send the poor people, the indigent. It's always a good place to go to and check out your local historical society, man. Not only for book research and stuff, but just to just pick their mind, for the different places that you can go to. They're a wealth of information. I love the local historical societies.
That's actually one of them that I'm gonna have to look into for Minnesota because our name. If you can see, oh wait, I gotta go the other way. If you can see behind me, our shirts are hanging on their wall,
Mm-hmm.
and well, our title of our name is Northern Minnesota. So I mean, I think we should probably do something in Minnesota for once, instead of traveling. But I live in Minnesota, so I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to seeing in Minnesota. I love traveling. I want to go somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and see the different sceneries because Minnesota's starting to get a little chilly.
Yeah, but
Not no more, but
sometimes the scariest places in the world are right there in your own backyard.
yeah, I think where I'm at right now is actually because I keep just getting that sense that there's two spirits with me right now, and it's just they're like it's bothering me, and I have so I have a fingerprint sensor here, and we have the SLS on, and things keep happening with both of them, and my kids are on the other side of the house, so I mean it makes no sense on where all this is coming from. So it's pretty nice to have that kind of stuff. But then I'm wondering, is it an attachment that followed from a location that I went to? Or is it my loved ones that are always watching over me? Who knows?
It's hard to say. I mean, everybody always says don't investigate your own house, but I call bullshit. I've investigated my house many times. Never had anything bad happen. It's do an EVP session, see what you come up with.
I'm going to actually have to probably do that, to be honest, because I've been getting a lot of stuff. Like sometimes the spirits here won't allow me to even do a live. Like they stop all connection or all anything with my computer, or they make those static noise that you guys heard, or they try to just completely shut the whole live down completely. So I mean, it could be very potential that there is something here. I mean, those lights behind me did just get brighter, and I don't understand how they're getting brighter. But Bobby says we were just at McIntyre Villa last weekend. It's right down the street from Sally House. Amazing location at Atchison, Kansas.
Atchison, Kansas. Yeah.
Yep, that's the way. See, I butchered a lot of things. we're actually scheduled to go there, so I can't wait to actually go to that location. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. You been to the Velasquez axe murder house yet?
What was that? Sorry.
Have you been to the Velasquez axe murder house in Velasquez, Iowa yet?
No, but I made I made a deal with one of my team members. If I go to Tonopah, Nevada, and go to the Clown Motel, I hate clowns.
Yeah, creepy little
I'm
bastard.
I can't stand clowns. Okay, that's just one thing I'm gonna say right now. I am a paranormal investigator, but I do not like clowns. So I mean, so we're gonna go there. But the deal was, if I go there and conquer my fear, that I get to go to Velasquez X Murder House because they don't want to go back because it's so tiny and there's not enough room for literally 5 investigators to try to sleep there or even take naps or whatever to stay up all night because we travel early, so we go during days, take our nap during the day, whatever, and then at nighttime we go at it because I like to investigate in the dark. So
Yeah.
I mean it's
Yeah, it's good. Investigating in the dark is good. You get a lot less noise contamination and stuff like that because it's quieter outside. But I've gotten good evidence during the day too. I've had evidence at Velasquez the one time that I investigated in Velasquez. We heard tapping in the upstairs bedrooms. We were sitting down in that parlor area, and you could hear tapping upstairs, and there was nobody else in the house but us.
ooh. See, I like that kind of stuff, like being in places and you're the only one there, or your team's the only one there, and you're hearing things. It's one of those best feelings ever to have.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gets your blood up. It catches your attention, and if you're like me, then you go upstairs to see what's there. You go check it out, then you try to recreate it and debunk it and see what you can come up with.
Exactly. And Teresa says hot tub suite at the Motel 6 in Duluth. Lots of activity when we got stranded.
Hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I guess there is a lot of places in Minnesota, I mean, that you wouldn't normally think that are haunted.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to be straight honest with places that are still open and still being used. It's very, very hard to investigate a location due to all the contamination of other people in other rooms at hotels and stuff. So it's like one of those kind of moments. How would you go about investigating a active running location that's haunted?
Yeah, what I do if I'm investigating a hotel like that, if I say, like, take the Crescent Hotel for instance, say room 215 is an active room, I'll rent room 215 and I'll get 213 and 217, the one on each side of it. That way I don't have noise contamination from either side of the rooms. Then I can investigate the room that I want to and don't have to worry about what's going on next door. Somebody banging on the walls or, somebody getting it on next door or whatever, and just contaminating all my evidence. So I just, that's the best way I found to do it. And if it's a multi-story hotel, I've also been known to rent out the rooms on each side of me and the room directly above me. If they haven't already been rented out.
That's actually a good idea.
It can get a little costly, unless you can cut a deal with them to, get a discount for multiple room rentals. But it's a benefit to them because nobody's staying in the other rooms, so they don't have to clean them. And that's what I always put that out there to them too. Can you cut me a deal because nobody's going to be staying in those rooms? I just want to make sure there's no noise contamination. 9 times out of 10, they'll give you a hell of a good, reduced room rate because nobody's staying there. I don't even want the room keys for them. I just want the room key for the room I'm going to be investigating. So they don't even have to give me the room key.
Oh, see, I mean, I think that would be a good idea. I mean, if you're staying at a hotel that's haunted, right? In the room that's haunted, you obviously, like you said, rent out the kind of the rooms that are near you, or right next to that room. So then you don't have to worry about any contamination either. So I mean, I might have to look into that because we are actually going down in April, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of April. We're going to. God, I keep forgetting the names every time I talk about it, and then I forget it. But it's Haunted Bingham, and then Spirits of Blue Springs, and then Haunted Vale Mansion.
Hmm.
So those are the 3 that we will be going to. Rich, dolls, I mean, as long as it's not a clown doll.
You really don't like clowns, do you?
No, I had a bad run-in with a clown at a carnival or a circus, and you know when you're 5 years old, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be dressed up as a scary clown.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was kind of traumatic, but Anne says she's in Las Vegas. Tonopah, cool place. Every inch is haunted. Good to know. I like haunted, so I mean, any places that are haunted and is my kind of thing. I would love to go into an old mine that was possibly haunted. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anne says you don't like dolls. I collect them. Oh boy. Haunted dolls. Yeah, see, dolls, they creep me out. Not afraid of them. Oh, they just creep you out. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of them either.
No, dolls. I mean, they're okay.
I gotta agree with Rich. They kind of creep me out too. But
well, you know, that's the thing is, as long as they don't try to come and kill you in your sleep.
Thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because did you hear about that? Zach Bagans actually bought the real haunted Chucky doll.
Did he? He's a different kind of cat. Zach is.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by anything he does anymore.
No, he bought the Lizzie Borden house too. If everybody hasn't known about that yet.
He bought the Lizzie
Ghost
Borden
Adventures,
house?
but
I didn't hear about that.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
That's what I was heard or what I was told. But I mean, if that's true, time to go investigate Lizzie Borden's house because I would love to go investigate that place too.
Well, you've been able to investigate that for years. You could go and investigate that place.
So Anne says I ran into a lady on the the hotel. She grabbed me. I'm guessing it was supposed to say something totally different. Stupid autocorrect does that to me all the time.
Me too.
But at that hotel, are you talking about the Tonopah Clown Motel? If so, oh great. I heard that there is.
Lady in Red.
Oh, and wait.
I bet that was supposed to say the Lady in Red, maybe.
Yeah, Lady in Red at the hotel. She grabbed me. We deciphered it. Good job. I like that. We decipher. We're investigators. See, we decipher messages. But no, I normally run all these comments at the end. We literally have about 10 minutes left of our show, so we ask all the fans that are on tonight if you have any questions that you would like to ask Bud while he's here, which I actually have one. How many books have you wrote?
I've written 8 total. I wrote 7 on the paranormal and then 1 on Lost Treasures of the Ozarks, different Spanish treasure tales of buried treasure and stuff like from Jesse James and that kind of stuff because he was really prevalent through the Missouri Ozarks. But I wrote the Haunted Natchez Trace, Haunted Mississippi Gulf Coast, Haunted Baton Rouge, Haunted Northwest Arkansas, Haunted Fort Smith, Ozarks Ghosts and Hauntings, and Alabama Haunted Heart of Dixie.
Wow. Okay, so that takes a lot of work to do those books. What would you say roughly each book is on pages?
About 120, anywhere from 120 to 136 pages, probably.
That's a decent sized book. That's actually a good read.
They're about 34,000 words, something like that. It makes for a good, easy read. You know, it's not something that's going to take you a month to slog through.
So if anybody wanted these books, where would they have to go to get these books?
You can find them on Amazon. If you just go to Amazon and put in Bud Steed in the search bar, You'll pop up all my books. You can go to my website, budsteed.com. There's links to the books there. Barnes and Noble has most of them. I'm all over. You just type in my name in Google and it pops up all kinds of stuff, man. You can find my books about anywhere.
He ain't joking about that, guys. I typed his name in on Google, and oh my god, I have never seen so much about one person in my life. I mean, you could probably type in like Ghost Adventures or Zach Bagans now too, and it probably do the same thing. But for an author though, that's very impressive. Very impressive. So Kelly says, are there any places in Oklahoma you would like to investigate?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be investigating with Eileen Jones the Broken Bow Asylum in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, on April 10th. It's a benefit. A gentleman who was supposed to actually do the event. I think he had a heart attack, if I'm not mistaken, and we're going to be doing a benefit investigation there for him. But I'm looking forward to investigating that. Ashley Storm actually is part owner of that place, and it's got a lot of activity. I'm looking forward to investigating that place.
I will be looking forward to it. I would definitely like to, show my support from the team.
Appreciate it.
We'll do as much as we could to help out as we can. So if you need any, assistance, just let us know. We'll take care. We'll try whatever we can to do. But yeah, that's a good reason to do an investigation, to help somebody else out that had a tragic incident that happened to him, which is it's very unfortunate to have that happen too.
It is.
Because it does slow you back, and it makes you pretty much have to start all over again. You know what I mean? It's like once you have that kind of stress on the body, you have to take it easy and kick back, and maybe those proceeds will actually help with expenses and stuff like that. So it's always nice to have that happen. Well,
it'll
not
help
like
it'll help his wife out. Yeah, it'll definitely help his wife out a lot. It was unfortunate that he passed away from it, but the proceeds will definitely help his wife out. I mean, it was unexpected, and Shannon Rogers is actually hosting the event. It's what is that? Paranormal Explorations. Oh crap! I can't keep up with shit. My apologies, Shannon. If you're watching this, I apologize. I can't keep up with the name of her. It's this Paranormal Explorations, or if you type in Shannon Rogers, you'll see it. We're actually going to go up to Butte, Montana, and investigate the Cabbage Patch and the Dumas Brothel up there in June 5th, and that's another one of Shannon's events that she's putting on up there.
See, I didn't know he passed. That my condolences, and my heart goes out to the family and his wife.
It was a bad deal.
It is. I know somebody else that just went through a heart attack too, and it's not good, and it's one of our affiliated teams. So I mean, once something like that happens, it's a big deal, and it's really sad to happen. And there's a lot of fans out there that are supportive to a lot of people, so we appreciate all their fans out there that support us. Anne says some of my favorite places, I will have to check them out. She said Robbers Cave in Wilburton. That would be I'm just guessing it has something to do with robbers.
Hey, I would assume.
I'm just guessing, but she'll probably comment back and let us know. So if anybody else has any questions, please feel free. We have 5 minutes left of this show tonight. So with everything being said tonight, what would you say would be your first and most memorable moment in being in the paranormal field? Like, is it with collaborating with other people, writing your books, or is it just being in the field in general?
For me, it's the best part about all of it. For me, it is the research, is the investigation part of it. the books, all that stuff, it's all just icing on the cake for me. For me, the best part of it, the main part of it, is actually getting to go to the places and do the investigations and dig into the history behind it. That's what does it for me. That's what's kept me at it for, like I said, almost 40. This October 17th will be 42 years. It's what kept my interest and kept my passion going, was being able to get out there and do it.
You know, that's a good motivation tool to use too, is having a passion in something that you like doing, no matter if it's music, art, uh, antiques.
Mhm.
Just go and do it. Okay, like Nike says, just do it.
That's right.
Don't say you're going to do it, just do it. So I had to quote Nike. Thank you so much, Nike, for
You
being
should
out
get
there.
endorsement for that. So
I'm going to take Nike in that. I'm going to. I want to I want to see if we can get Nike as a sponsor. It'd be pretty nice to have a sponsor for this event or for our shows, because these radio shows, they're not free.
mm,
I mean, anything that we do is not free, and it's like, why does everything has to cost everything? Like StreamYard, it's $49 a month to run the show.
yep.
So I mean, any donations that we get are greatly appreciated. It goes to that, helps us keep running these shows and helps us keep going. So we just wanted to let everybody know that it's a really good, it's a good tool. Use StreamYard. I like
Yeah.
StreamYard. Okay, so that's what it is. It's Bellstar Jesse James hideout. That was Robber's
Oh,
Cave.
okay. I know what she's talking about now.
Oh,
Belle
you know,
Starr, and they actually think that she rode with Jesse James and Cole Younger when they robbed that bank over in eastern Missouri. And they actually, the story behind it is that they buried the treasure somewhere near Eureka Springs. They carved, I think it was a turtle and some arrows and things like that they used to for markers from where they buried it. Then the Younger brothers went south. Belle Starr went back over towards Oklahoma. She had her husband with her at the time. They all went to Oklahoma. And then the James brothers went north up to Eagle Rock, and the posse followed them, and they actually killed the posse right there at Eagle Rock.
oh my God. So that's okay. So the Younger brothers, and I wonder if that's where they were actually locked up in Stillwater or Stillwater Prison, the old Stillwater Prison, because we didn't know that the old Stillwater Prison was torn down, and we were interested in, investigating that place. But we were reading about the Younger brothers, and I think also Jesse James actually was imprisoned in Stillwater as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure about that one. I know his brother Frank James was he was locked up at the old 1865 jail in Independence, Missouri. He actually had it pretty nice, man. They had even nice chair, a nice bunk, and curtains, and all kinds of stuff when he was in there. But we actually investigated that jail and got a lot of activity out of it. My youngest son, he's 19. He was with me. I think he was like 17 then, and he had something slap him on the ass when he was in the cell. So he kind of left real quick and got out of there. He didn't think that was too cool, but it was interesting.
It's I kind of probably would have did the same thing, to be honest. And then maybe after like 10 seconds later, I'll be like, all right, now who just done did that? Now you just done pissed me off.
Yeah,
That's
he's a
one
good
no square.
yeah he's a good investigator. My boy is. He's been investigating with me since he was like 16 or something like that. And, he's just a real good investigator. He's solid. It takes a lot to shake him up. So he went with
Well,
me when I did the investigations for the Haunted Northwest Arkansas book, and he was my chauffeur while I was going around taking photos and that kind of stuff.
you always have to have those good buddies in the paranormal that have not faint of heart, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
if you bring
exactly.
somebody that has faint of heart and they kind of fall and faint, well, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, then you're responsible for getting them out.
Exactly. Um, okay, so with that being said, with the last minute here, I want to ask you a big question.
Mhm.
Would you be interested in collaborating on making a book together as two authors?
Yeah, good, I suppose. shoot me over some details on what you got in mind. I mean, I'm open to anything.
Okay. Yeah, it would be pretty awesome to collab with another already known author that knows already, and somebody that's just started into the author world or starting to write, because that Arcadia Publishing would have never reached out to me if it wasn't something that was meant to be.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean,
And
out of all these people in the world, why me?
yeah. So I mean, it's you should take advantage of that. An opportunity knocks, answer the door. But I'm open to anything. So
Okay.
I'll try to help anybody out any way I can. And if anybody out there ever has any questions or anything like that, they can reach out to me on Messenger, or they can reach out to me at budsteed.com. I'll try to answer any questions. I don't know everything, but if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer, and I'll try to find it out for you. But just don't be afraid to reach out to me if you got a question. I'll try to help you if I can.
I did put your website. I guess I did capitalize too accidentally. So everybody, it's not capitalized. It's www.budsteed.com.
Yep.
To find out any information that you would like to know about him. We just want to say thank you so much to our star guest tonight, Bud, for being out with us and talking about the ghost stories of his personal stories and other people's personal stories of the paranormal. And we look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night. We will be with Bobby and Rob with Dimensional Encounters Paranormal tomorrow night. So make sure to tune in at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Central Time. And Bud, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We really appreciate you. And we really appreciate your stories and your actually books. Like I said, I'm going to go check you out on Amazon, try to find one of the books. And I'm just going to buy one random one, and I'm going to go with it. And whatever one calls out to me.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you so much, and we really appreciate you. You have a wonderful night, and we will see everybody soon. Have a wonderful night, and stay spooky. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paranormal Investigators of Northern Minnesota. My name is David. I am the founder and lead investigator for the Paranormal Investigators of Northern Minnesota. We have been together since January 2020. We as the team set out on our journeys to the paranormal world to collect evidence of the paranormal and bring it to the light for all of you wonderful viewers to watch at home. Let's introduce the rest of the team to all of you. We have our assistant lead investigator Jade, empath investigator Susie, investigator Patty, and photographer, videographer, and investigator Jake.